Hey guys, welcome back to ArtosisCasts. Today we're going to be taking a look at a SnO Protoss versus Terran. And the thing that really kind of made me light up about this was this against Mihu. And you guys know I'm a bit of a Mihu fan. I like to, watch Mihu games, just kind of check out what he's doing. He definitely plays a very different style than most, and I'm very interested right now in what he's doing to help himself change for the metagame. Okay, so Mihu has always been a 4 or 5 or 6 factory attacker, like way before it was meta. That's just his style, and he got even more popular as that became the metagame. So this happens sometimes where people's styles rotate into being strong, and you'll see that player pop up and do really, really well for a bit, and then they might fall off because they don't adjust. So you guys, of course, will remember we had a long period where like everyone was going 5 factory and 6 factory. Protoss was dying to it a lot, and they finally figured out that, oh my god, you need the Zealot leg upgrade. Isn't that crazy? And it kind of went away. But yeah, at this point, it's very well, it's not. It's still a lot of Terran players do it, right? Like you're still going to pick up wins, even if, you know, Protoss has an idea of what they're supposed to do, and a lot of them don't. And, you know, StarCraft's a complicated game, right? So, like, a lot of things can go right or wrong. Even, you know, a well-executed, decisive play that's incorrect is way better than hemming and hawing and not knowing what you're doing with the correct play. So, yeah, it's just something to kind of keep in mind there. But yeah, as far as Mihu goes, like, I'm a little bit worried about him because he's always played kind of the same style. But the thing is, it might be rotating back a little bit to 5 and 6 factory being utilized again. I'm not 100% sure that, but I was thinking about it the other day because I've noticed that Protoss players are making fewer units in that kind of early mid-game area. By the way, this probe is just... This is a devil probe. He's so close to getting that. And look at this. He's barely taking damage. It's insane. Zealot on the way as well. That depot is very late. Ooh. Okay, so, yeah. Anyway, should it be having a factory come up relatively soon? And Mihu is going for a gasless expansion. It kind of didn't work out. And now he's going to sit supply blocked for a minute, not be able to make SCVs. That probe really actually screwed him up so much. Just having it get there early, you have to, if you see the probe come into your base before your barracks is done when you're trying to go for gasless, you have to take your gas. It's just, the offensive gas will be too strong otherwise. So he had to do that. Oh my god! I thought for sure he was going to take a hit. Oh, he does anyways. Just when you think you're safe. Isn't it funny melee units actually have a range? Isn't that funny? Anyways. Oh, God, I feel all over the place right now. But Mihu is just making Marines. The Nexus going up pretty quickly here from SnO is very, very good. What was I talking about? Yeah, something about this style of Mihu and how it might rotate back into being good. Anyways, like... I don't know that you're going to be able to 5 or 6 fact push SnO. A lot of people were for a while. He was part of the reason why that started to happen, because he was just dismantling like upgrade Terran with strong Reaver harass and taking a lot of the map and getting big armies and stuff like that. So he was like part of the reason why that evolved. Like he helped to influence the metagame a fair amount. But yeah, like I've noticed a little bit more greed from Protoss, a little bit less units, and when that starts to happen, it's like because Terran stops attacking so much, Protoss stops making so many units, and then suddenly Terran can start attacking again, right? But it becomes like kind of tighter and tighter loops of how the metagame moves in that way, and then it'll find like kind of an area where it probably doesn't go back and forth too much. Yeah, if that makes sense. Yeah, just those are my thoughts kind of on like what's going on right now with the metagame. This is like a really weird attack that I'm watching that I'm not commentating at the moment. I'm not like, sometimes you can move out and pressure with your Marines and Vulture, but that was like kind of a weird one. Like I guess he got like a probe in there and he got some damage on some of these units, but like very kind of weird looking. He does go for a bunker and an additional marine here, just to have that stability of defense in case SnO decides to counterattack. Observatory coming up. He's got plenty of dragoons out here. You know, this one is pretty low on health. The Zealot's pretty low on health. And going up to 3 gates. Okay, this makes a lot of sense for SnO to go 3-gate observer here. That's 3-gate observer is the I will not die to your push build to like a 2-factory follow-up. And sometimes there's counterplay with like if the observer comes out, sometimes you can counterattack, but this is like a weird situation. On both sides, really. They both lost quite a few units here in the early game. Like, the gates are not super, super fast from SnO, but, like, Mihu doesn't have tanks, really. He's making his first 2 right now. He doesn't have siege mode. We'll see. Siege mode just now starting, so that window is going to close up pretty quickly. And actually, that generally, if you start siege mode by 6 minutes, you're not going to be afraid of any Dragoon attacks. It's very hard for Protoss to apply really heavy pressure, like, before 7 minutes. And if you start siege at 6 minutes, your siege mode finishes at 650, which is just after they get to your natural, normally with normal observer timing. So you can see he's actually doing that move I was talking about, but because Mihu wasn't greedy, like if he had gone speed instead of siege, this could be a little bit scary because SnO has very good micro, but like he's going to be completely fine here. See, he's getting here, and you can see the siege mode is just about to finish. This is why we have, like, we have timings for things, right? We have benchmarks is what I like to call them when I'm thinking about them. It's like, just hit your benchmarks. Just hit your benchmarks. You know, engineering bay at 5 minutes, 30 seconds. Siege mode at 6 minutes. These are the things that keep you alive. Because we've kind of measured out, like, okay, this is how fast things can come. Okay, looking back at SnOw's base. 3rd Nexus on the way as he was pressuring. And we have the Reaver tech coming up, which is, of course, what he is most known for. Vulture speed here for Mihu. He's also getting his armory. He's already got, actually, really decent missile turrets. These are very solid. Good kind of zoning turrets and good first line of defense against any possible shuttles coming in. Brings a few Vultures into his main base. Looks like he just wants to lay a few defensive mines, which I think you basically always have to do against SnO. It's going to slow him down a little bit. It'll never kill a Reaver, but it will slow him down and make him do extra micro and give you time to react. So lays a good amount of mines. Love to see this. Absolutely love to see this. And yeah, these Vultures are going to get out on the map a little bit now, even making a couple more. Generally, you'll see the factory adds. Yeah. This is right around where you kind of need to add those factories. You know, when you open up with a build like this, you really do kind of got to get them up around 8 minutes. SnO getting ready for a 4th base. Mihu, yeah, he adds the 2 factories here. We'll see if he adds more than that. Right now, it's pretty popular with a build like what Mihu did to just add 2 and go for a command center. We'll see about that. Mihu, like I've said, is he really likes his earlier timing attacks. He's actually better at controlling them than basically anybody. So it's still a powerful move for him. And SnO, you can see he's forcing SnO to just spam right-click his probes onto those mineral patches to stop the Vultures from getting them. But good movement from Mihu. Like he's, you know, against a different player, he probably gets 3-4 probes there. And it's very, very annoying for Protoss. Yeah, there's the command center. Okay, you know what? This is Mihu evolving, which I really am very happy to see. I'm very, very happy to see this because, like, Mihu a year ago, he would have gotten up to, like, he probably, instead of adding these 2, he would have skipped an extra unit, added another one, made a bunch of units, and tried to attack, and SnO would have ripped it apart. But yeah, this is really great. Like, Mihu's been practicing very, very hard, so it's nice to see. Yeah, you're never going to hit his Reaver with a 9. Yeah, he's going to slow this down. That's too bad. He was going for a missile turret, but it was not up in time, and SnO is now in here with a speed shuttle, which is basically your worst nightmare as a Terran player. It's like, what is it? Soma Mutas and SnO Reaver in your base? Like, not fun things to play against. But his turret coverage is still pretty solid, and you brought enough units back, so he should be okay. Has this basis of defense of the missile turret and a couple Marines in a bunker here, so not super easy for him to get the shuttle in there and make it worthwhile. Mihu getting a little bit of a supply block, trying to throw down a couple depots quickly. He actually canceled out his Academy and goes for a new one. Academy is a little bit late, but that's okay. He's got good enough intel right now that he should be fine. SnO getting into a very strong position. So it looks like he's going to play a delaying game here, if I can zoom out for a moment and show. The command center wants to come out here and land. Ooh, that's a really good catch. That's actually more painful than you would think, losing the engineering bay right now. He is making some Goliaths and getting Goliath range, so it's, yeah, I guess that helps a little bit, but like you really do want like a turret here and like a turret up here, and that's really painful that he can't do that at the moment. And you can see here, SnO, he's playing a delaying game. He doesn't think that he can stop him from taking this base, but he can delay it a lot. And you can see he's kind of getting ready for maybe even a 5th base of his own. And, you know, I have this old saying where I'm like, yeah, if they take the 5th Nexus, you have to either take a 4th command center or you have to attack. Obviously, he can't attack. He's having a hard time taking this 3rd Nexus. So if that, you know, if that position occurs, it's going to be very rough. Now, kills that Reaver and shuttle pretty quickly. So that's good, but there is another one here. SnO is being so efficient with this. And look at how he's sitting back, man. Like, SnO is the best at this type of play. The absolute best. Sitting in this kind of arc really far back, just making it hard, trying to get Terran to overextend. And you can see, as soon as he starts to move up there, SnO, well, that was a sick mine. But as soon as he starts to get up there, SnO just jumps on it and kills some extra tanks. Okay, where are we at right now? I'm actually getting chills right now. I'm sorry. This has been a very fun game already, just watching SnO's mastery of this position. But Mihu, like, he's banked up a little bit. I like that he's getting the Wraith, by the way. He's getting Science Facility. He's only on 5 Factory. He really, 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 really needs to add at least 2 more factories. I want to see 3, but we'll see. In comes another speed shuttle, and you can see how painful it is to have lost that engineering bay early on. Look at this. He's getting all sorts of extra kills at the moment. Dude, he just has the ultimate rhythm. The ultimate rhythm with the Reaver. He would have been a great Guitar Hero player. Okay, so it's really all Protoss is anyways, right? Yeah, I think SnO has, like, done what he needs to do in this area. He has his 5th Nexus on the way. Couple gates here. He wants to populate that part of the map with those extra gateways, so it's kind of easier to go around. All right, blocks this, so that's good. Clearing out the bunker for better unit movement and making a 4th command center. So definitely the right thing that we're seeing. Good supply here from Mihu. He has a good SCV count. Let's look at SnO's base. Okay, he just canceled something. You know what? I know what that was. A Templar Archives, 100%. And then he realized he had one and started Storm. That's what that was. You know, you're making stuff while you're putting this pressure on, and you just kind of, you know, that happens. Everyone makes double buildings occasionally. Every now and then I look down, I have like 3 armories. I'm like, what? What? This isn't Terran versus Terran. Why do I have 3 armories? But yeah. Good setup here from Mihu. He's getting a lot of defense. There's a lot of mines in his base still. Some good turrets. I wouldn't mind seeing that Wraith over here to try to catch incoming shuttles. Don't know if that's going to be something SnO is focusing on. Forge, couple forges, additional forges on the way. And, oh, yeah, so he actually wants to go all 3 upgrades, plasma shields as well. 2 more Nexuses coming. So this is where SnO's trying to run away with the game. There's a lot of, like, passive pressure on Mihu here because SnO is taking the entire side of the map. Now, SnO's on 62 probes, so, like, his mining will get a little bit better. He'll have, like, basically the best mining you can possibly get with this many mineral patches if he spreads his probes correctly. And Mihu is setting up for his 4th base. But, like, do you have a timing attack that you can hit here? Or are you looking to split the map as Mihu? These are hard choices, and I don't actually have the correct answer for this because this is a position where SnO is ahead, even though the supplies are very similar. The worker counts are similar. They're both getting good upgrades right now. SnO's I guess doing a little bit better with 3 upgrades going at once and only 1 for Mihu, but it is +2, so that's like more important overall. But yeah, I don't have a great plan. Like if you know, gun to my head, it's like, okay, what should Mihu do here if he wants to win? Well, it's against SnOw, so that's the first thing I would say is like just, you know, pull the trigger. It's you're not beating SnOw. But like I would say the number one thing is he has to prevent SnOw from taking these bases and eventually take those himself. I don't think that there's a push timing that's going to work because this is like kind of speed shuttle. He has high Templars. We don't see a second Robo, but like it is that kind of like high Templar heavy style. So I think right now is like denying all the top right, making sure that you are impenetrable. Very good pullback there from Mihu. Very good. Is probably the best you can do. Now, there might be a world in which he zones this area heavily with mines, a few tanks, and some turrets, and tries a really strong push through here. But that allows SnOw to take the top part of the map. See, it's kind of like, oh, if you move through this area too slowly, then I move through the other area quickly. I talked about that, especially on the map Knockout, where we've seen some games recently where the Terran took like expansions that were too far out of the way to impact the game, and then Protoss just expanded along the other side. You can actually see SnOw already doing this. So he's adding stuff up here. The thing is, this push from Mihu, if you look, he's got so many gateways here. Even if this push eventually gets over here and kills all this, it won't matter because by then SnOw will have everything in the top and all his gates remade. And you can see he's kind of banking up. So it's like, okay, he's doing this push, and the push looks good, right? It looks strong. Like he's killing a lot of SnOw's units. He's getting further with it. Maybe he can even take this base. Maybe that's something Mihu can do here. But like SnOw is doing this just right. You watch, he's going to clear top right pretty soon because he's getting this Nexus up. Look at that, even a gateway there. He's just throwing gateways down where he can. And this is going to take a long time for Mihu to push through this area. All right, very, very good, the position he's gotten, but we notice that there's not a lot of vultures here. He has like 1 spider mine. He definitely needs to get a lot more units up here. He needs to very quickly reinforce everything. He's got really good supply right now. Like Mihu is playing a good game. I don't want to make it seem like he can't win this. It's the reason why I'm saying he can't win this is because it's SnOw. But SnOw loses PvT sometimes. He does. He does. And Mihu is excellent at TVP. It's his best matchup by miles. So, yeah, like there is definitely still potential here. This is most Terran versus Protoss wins happen after containing the natural. Like when you get units in this position against Protoss, this is the most common thing for that. This is the thing that most victories have in common for this matchup. Like if I had to give a new player like, oh, how do I kill Protoss? It's like you siege up outside their naturals so that they can't rally their gateways onto the map anymore. But SnOw is already solving that up here is the problem. And look, he's cleared most of this. He's got a probe up here ready to make a new base. I like the speed with which Mihu's trying to move through this area right now. He's bringing a lot of reinforcements. He's keeping a fair amount of units here. This is not a recall. I almost called it a recall deck. I'm playing too many card games. This is not a recall deck that his opponent is using, right? Like, he does not have recall to get his army out of here. So, like, it's either speed shuttles or trying to break the position. So that gives Mihu some added power out on the map. I think most of SnOw's macro is going to switch to the top part of the map, though. If Mihu can clear this base, obviously that's going to be awesome. Ooh. I didn't know this was a 3,000 gas geyser. I just clicked that. I'm like, wait, that's too even. You can't get to 3,000 mining by 8. How did that happen? That's crazy. I had no idea that the third bases here were 3,000. I play this map like so many times every day. Okay. Yeah, Mihu is moving through this area. Like, I tell you, like I said, my best idea was for him to deny top right. But he's taken a much more proactive approach. He's like clearing armies and stuff. You can see that SnOw's bank isn't really diminishing. He's maintaining good supply and everything. Mihu's push is very, very good. Because these gates are locked up here, it's harder for SnOw to field a gigantic army and swarm the tanks with zealots. So that's one very good thing working out for him right now. SnOw is still making everything very difficult for Mihu to do. Mihu, by the way, taking this base. This base is really hard to take because storm drops just annihilate the SCVs there. We'll see if we get into a game like that. But right now, Mihu keeping enough pressure on the bottom side that... you know, it's not looking like that as of yet. Like, that's a very good base for him to take. I don't know if he'll try to take this base or not. It might be something where he floats a command center there. But that is another potential base he could take as well. Mihu's putting out a fantastic game. It's not necessarily what I would have tried, but, well, obviously he's better than me. But I still think my analysis of SnOw taking the top side of the map is why this ultimately could end up failing for Mihu, even though the push looks so good. By the way, do we have another robo? So one robo there. He's got 2-1-1, didn't get more upgrades going. So he only has the one robo. So yeah, he is having a hard time getting his units moved around maybe as much as he wanted. Sorry, I have to click around a lot and see where the units actually are right now from SnOw, because SnOw's in this kind of funny position where he's like, look at this. It's like 4 High Templars just spamming out. It reminds me of when, like, you get caught in PvZ by the Hydras when you're reinforcing and you just storm everything and lose them all. Kind of that similar position. Mihu already with tanks up here. That's really fantastic for him to hold on against that. Mihu actually, I'm starting to believe, man. I'm really starting to believe that he's going to be able to take this game. SnOw, though, has a Nexus up here. He's already got mining up here. He actually doesn't have any probes there, so that's a little bit sad. But yeah, the extra Goliaths here from Mihu doing well. I want to go back and check Mihu's factory count. I feel like that is because I feel like he should have like a few more units on the map. Because right now, if you can just really quickly reinforce and keep as high a supply as possible moving around. Look, he's starting to abandon this position. This is where sometimes Terran falls apart. If you abandon this position, suddenly this area becomes playable, but Protoss has to notice that. So SnOw actually, if he recognizes that this has occurred, and in fact, he's sending a Zeal out, so now he's recognized it, he can now produce out of these gateways and have armies coming in from different locations. So it's even more important now for Mihu to move together with his entire army. Okay, so we have 4 with add-ons, and then we have 6 without. So he's on 10 factory, which is really good. 4 add-ons, really, really good. His production is awesome. He's got 3-2 upgrades as well. Taking out this base, even pops a Reaver really quickly there. Doing a fantastic job. Look at this. He's moving tanks up here. Dude, Mihu's putting out such a game here. Such a game. Many wow. Really, really superbly played from Mihu. The game is not 100% over, but I think killing this base, and he's killed this Nexus, not that this had a lot left. He's killed this one, that was really good. Kills this one, this is really good. So SnOw has 4 mining bases up here, but he's losing this one. Mihu 1, 2. Maybe 3rd one coming up at some point, not sure. But like 2 mining bases with 3-2 upgrades is enough to play against Protoss. Like that's, you can still produce out of all your factories. That's basically the main thing. Like he can consistently produce out of his 10 facts. He's already bought his upgrades. He's already bought his supply depots. He's already bought his missile turrets. So like just keeping that production up, keeping your supply high, that's what allows the position still to be very playable for Terran later game. So yeah, those 2 mining bases, super, super crucial. SnOw now. Well, SnOw is not completely maxed. He is going to have to save this base. If Mihu controls this area and kills this base will be next. Oh, he's still not really mining from there. Just a few probes. Okay. Well, I don't have like great analysis of this or anything, but like SnO is trying to just cut through the center. And it makes sense, right? Like he gives up this base, but he cuts through the center for the most part. Will he make it the whole way? Because like if he were to get these 2 bases, he's going to win most likely. I'm not sure that he's able to though. Well, he clears everything there. He's going to get up here. I don't think he can kill it, though. Like, Mihu should have enough units to pull back and clear this out. He just EMP'd his own science vessels. Oof. That's too bad. He had a lot of defense matrices available there. Ends up getting the Reaver. The Reaver, what is he? Okay, he does end up targeting some SCVs here as well. Might get one more shot. Yeah. So gets like 5 SCVs there. Does some damage as well. Okay, I think Mihu has complete control now. This is a Mihu win. Really almost nothing left for SnO. He hasn't really gotten a ton of probes up here. He hasn't been mining with those. Spraying some more units up into the map. Going to kill the science facility. Okay. +3 armor just finished for vehicles. SnO still just on the 2-1-1. He optimistically went for 3 forge, but didn't really get a lot of usage out of them, unfortunately. And Mihu just kind of bringing his army together. The splash damage is very, very minimal at this point. He has a couple Reavers there, but Goliaths can shoot down a red shuttle very quickly. Trying to pick off anything he can from the edge. I love that he's relying on Reavers right now. Woo! It's like his back's up against the wall and we have 2 Reavers trying their best to make something happen. And I mean, they're doing fantastically. He's killed so much with them. But that should be game. Like, Mihu's taken top right. I gotta say, this was really impressive from Mihu. Very impressive. And, you know, I gave the theory of, like, I think he should try to deny the top part of the map. You know, I think I made a good case for why the push he was making might not be the way to victory, even if it goes well. And it ended up being the way to victory. And, you know, again, this is, like, some of why StarCraft is so great. Is, like, yeah, it seems like there was a lot of different ways that this could have been played. And by both players. And obviously, throughout a StarCraft game, both players are making a lot of good moves and a lot of mistakes as well. But at the end of the day, execution is really #1. And Mihu executed his push very, very, very well. I'm going to go back and look once this game is over. In fact, I'll bring you guys with me on what I'm going to look for, because the position looked pretty dire for Mihu. And for him to push back through that was really, really impressive. He really does control pushes better than almost every pro Terran in this matchup. Something that I've said for years about Mihu. You know, he's just like... It's ridiculous what he can pull off. So yeah, he's pushing down the last possible areas here for SnO. SnO should be tapping out pretty quickly. I think he's remade this Nexus, but now he's losing this one. He finally has probes here. He got better saturation up here. He still has good gateways, but his supply is too low. 192. Like, Mihu's still sitting here maxed, getting that base. Never did take this base. I actually appreciate that in a way. This one's, like, impossible to hold when you're going up the right side of the map. GG. Really, really good game from Mihu. I want to jump back here. Okay, so this should be right around where he started the command center. Okay. So I just want to kind of get back to the position and kind of reanalyze, because SnO, this looked so dominant. Like, I would literally... The position we're about to get into, if it was SnO versus Flash, like, yeah, I think SnO's well ahead here. But let's look at what went right and what went wrong real quick. You can see SnO just kind of delaying this. He's picking off tanks. So, like, already you can see the numbers here are really good for SnO. So he has his 4th Nexus about to finish, 142 to 105. The workers are the same. That's very, very important. Okay, this is one of the biggest metrics in this matchup is like, what does the worker count look like? If you can follow Protoss into 60 probes, and like, yes, he has 2 more, but like, this is one of the big, big things that I'm always looking for in my own games and games I'm watching and games I'm casting, is like, if you can keep your worker count similar to Protoss, you're actually in pretty good shape, even if they have more bases. But yeah, so let's see the timing of getting this down. And he actually stays on 5 factories for kind of a long time here. Gets up to his starport. Okay, we're getting towards the peak of SnOw's advantage, I feel like. So it's still 5 factories. You can see Mihu's money's starting to go up. This is not that strong. SnOw has a lot of units there. Okay, that was a very good clear. But you can still see, right? It's still like a 40 supply advantage for SnOw. And then he gets his 5th command, or his 5th Nexus. And yeah, a couple more. Really? Dude, like, this is a great game for Mihu. Look at those numbers, man. He's down 40 supply, like, non-stop. And he's having a hard time getting this mining. You know, the old benchmark is, like, make sure your 3rd base is mining by 12 minutes. And he's still having a hard time getting it mining. He's mined, like, you know, less than 50 minerals from these patches. So I guess he's just barely meeting the benchmarks that he needs. Good consistent production, though. Gets that command center started. Okay, I want to fast forward a little bit to the actual beginning of the push. Really, really heavy defense. Doesn't want SnOw coming in with shuttles. Wow. Look at how much SnOw's got. So the timing of the 4th base is okay. Vulture's out in the front. This is a great storm dodge. Really important, actually. Keeps that Goliath count really high, really healthy. Now, this is the part. This is the part that I most wanted to look at. Like, we kind of revisited SnOw having a big edge. So Mihu basically maxes out. He's getting his upgrades and everything. He's got his 4th base. He's sent SCVs. Looks like they went a little bit early because it overflowed and everything. He's got some zoning mines, 1 tank here, just kind of like, hey, stay back. But this is the part where, like, Mihu does this part really, really, really well. He's top pro level at tank pushes against Protoss. And I want to take a quick look at that. I know this has already been a long game, so if you've turned it off, well, you can't hear me say this, but fuck you. All right. So he, like, the heavy Goliaths, I've seen this a little bit more lately. I've been thinking about it, but I've seen this from some top pros where they're making extra Goliaths and really zoning the shuttles. Like, look at how he's scanning here. He's looking at the position, walks these forward. He makes sure it's like, this is how you zone your tanks that are clumped a little bit from getting stormed all to hell. But the scary thing is when Zealots run it. So let's see. SnOw brings up the Zealots. Oh, they actually kind of went up here where they maybe should have come down here. He gets in there. Some size storms. A lot of the Dragoons weren't in that fight. He kind of had this natural barrier. Good micro back. There's a few mines. Yeah, zoning out those shuttles once again. Still has a good, healthy amount of Goliaths in there. For a long time, people only made 4 Goliaths because they 2-shot a shuttle. So you just kind of keep them back and kill shuttles that come over your army. But, like, this is more of a zoning group. Yeah. I mean, a very well done push. Okay, I don't really have too much else to say. I hope you guys enjoyed the game. That was a... Yeah, my brain is like reconfiguring itself thinking about this position. Like, is this just going to be like hit your max and do your push? Just do it. Wish I could push like that. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.